What's up guys, Coach Az here, and today I want to give you some advice about your teep or your front kick. I want you to start seeing it as more of a tool than it is a weapon. There are so many different uses for it and applications, and I think if we stop thinking of it as simply an attacking weapon and start considering how we can use it to measure, to counter, to disrupt, then we can get so much more functionality out of the technique. So today I'm going to give you 3 ways to use the teep, and each one we're going to use it as a slightly different tool. Let's get the obvious one out of the way, and that's using it as a weapon. Your front kick or your teep is very similar to your jab and your cross. It's a very simple fundamental movement and very effective at going straight to the target and coming straight back. Now there's many ways you can attack with this kick, but the one I'm going to focus on today is the sliding in front kick. The reason we're going to take a look at this one in particular today is I like it that it covers a bit of extra distance. So if you're a shorter fighter and you're struggling to get into range, this is a great way to close that distance. If you're fighting an opponent that tends to always back up whenever you try to initiate an attack, this is a great way of chasing them down with the kick. Effectively, what we're doing here is as we lift that chamber up to initiate the kick, we're going to push off of that standing leg to drive us forward, close the distance and hit our target. This forward momentum, as well as you driving your hips into the kick, will also help to add to the power behind the technique. However, I would always like to use this as a setup for my hands. I use that forward pressure and momentum with the kick to close the distance, place my foot back down, and then follow up with my punches afterwards. If you struggle with this sliding motion, try it without the kick. Simply lift the chamber and practice effectively hopping forward, but trying to keep your foot as close to the ground as you do. Keep in mind that it might take some time to develop the power in your standing leg to be able to push forward. And don't neglect your hips. If you drive your hips forward, that's going to help propel your body in the motion. Be sure to keep the guard up as you're throwing this kick, as you're moving into firing range. And as always with the teep, retract that kick quickly to avoid it being caught, swept, or kicked under. The second application for it is as a disruptive technique. This is my favorite way to use my teep. It's to disrupt my opponent as they attempt to pressure forward. In this variation, you can think of it a lot more like a jab. I'm not necessarily trying to hurt my opponent with it or cause much damage. All I'm doing is I'm raising it and putting it out in front of them so that they have something to deal with when they try to push forward. This of course works great when people are trying to headhunt you with punches, because they leave that body exposed and you can just push that ball of the foot straight into their midriff. It can also be a really effective way of throwing off kickers. As they go to throw that roundhouse kick and leave themselves exposed and standing on one leg, you can simply disrupt that kick, throwing them off balance and forcing them to reset and back up. The trick with this is that classic Muay Thai stance of being heavy on the back foot. The idea here that our lead leg is light and therefore we can lift it quickly and easily to bring it up to the body. This technique is all about the timing. You need to get it up at just the right moment to intercept your opponent as they approach you. If you've got a hanging bag, which unfortunately I do not, then you have the opportunity to push that bag, get it swinging, and try to time that kick for the moment that it would make the correct impact. By that I mean that your leg would be correctly extended and you'd be at the maximum distance that you could be in order to land the kick. Try to work this as the bag is swinging towards you to replicate an opponent pressuring onto you. Alternatively, of course, get yourself a sparring partner and get them to do what we call the zombie. Get them to constantly try to walk you down so that you can just practice moving, lifting this foot and placing it into the body. The third way we can think about it is as a measuring device. Again, similar to how we might use the jab to measure for our powerful cross, we can use that lead leg front kick to measure for our roundhouse kick. You know that if your kick is making contact, then your other leg can as well. But now you're using that kick just to radar, just to go out, touch that target, to then set you up to place that foot down and bring that leg round. Now the beauty of this is you can take that back leg roundhouse to any height. Attack the leg, attack the body, attack the head. And you can measure with that front kick to different heights as well. Send that teep to the front of the thigh, into the body, up to the chest. All of these will have slightly different ranges and allow you to set up a kick off of it. This is a really simple drill to practice on a bag. Simply get your front kick going with your lead leg and then occasionally throw that back leg off of it. Throw that teep, measure, move, set up and throw off of it. Take into consideration where you're going to place that foot down after you kick. You want to set it up in a good position so that you can get maximum rotation through your body and good power in that roundhouse kick. So there's 3 ways to think about your teep, guys. As a weapon, as a disruptor, and as a measuring tool. Now it's a far more versatile strike. So your opponent might just believe that you've got an awesome teep, that you can hit them anywhere and everywhere. What they might not understand is your versatility in understanding how to apply it in the fight. Guys, I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, please hit that like button, comment down below on what you'd like to see next, and I will see you on the next one.